It's here. It's finally here. Well, just about. Technically, it won't be delivered until April of 2023, but we've got all the info and the configurator is live. Yes, the BMW M2 might just be one of the most important gas-powered hardcore enthusiast rocket ships to be released to the public in some time. And it comes standard with a 6-speed manual. Oh, what's up, motorheads, and welcome back to Gearbox Pizza. Look, I know, we're big EV heads here, but above all else, we're just straight up sports car junkies, and this fella seriously checks all the boxes. So get comfy, guys. We're gonna give you a solid overview, and then we're gonna go through every single option. All right, so the M2. Now, it starts off life just like any other 2 Series coupe, but while you're shoving yesterday's pepperoni and double cheese down your gullet, our pal the M2 is slamming human growth hormones, living in his van, and posting up Venice Beach Gold's Gym Arnold style. In other words, it's just a beast. Okay, so I know why you're here, and let's not waste any more time. The motor. It's nuts. And for the first time, it's actually the same motor that's found in the run-of-the-mill M3 and M4, except that it makes 20 less horsepower, which I get. I mean, it just can't make the same horsepower as its big brothers, right? Anyway, it makes a pretty crazy 453 horsepower. Torque-wise, it's identical to the M3 M4 at 406 pound-feet. And look, yeah, this is serious power for something this small. I mean, it just is. So how does all this new power translate to performance? So the previous M2 was already very, very fast and was able to bang out a sub 4 second 0 to 60. The new one, now that it makes almost 50 extra horsepower, should really be able to live more in the mid 3s. Top speed is going to be capped at 177 miles an hour, which I'll admit, it's way faster than ever. Well, okay, maybe not way faster, but still fast enough even for you Autobahn champs. All right, no more messing around. Let's fire up that configurator so I can help you spend all that cheddar. So right off the bat, we're starting at 62,200, and we're going to be adding to that for sure. First things first, we got to pick a color here, and there's really not that many to choose from. There's 2 no-cost options with Alpine White and this new Zandvoort Blue. Then there's 3 metallic options to choose from for an extra $650. There's black, red, and silver. So only 5 colors to choose from, but they're all solid and they should kind of provide something for just about everybody. Personally, like, I gotta admit, I kind of just love this Zandvoort Blue. I mean, this is the signature color for sure, and yeah, I just love it. Don't get me wrong though, the Brooklyn Gray is solid if you're looking for more of like a sleeper build though. Okay, so next up we got wheels, and pretty simple here. There's 2 choices, both a no-cost option and both the same size with 19s up front and 20s out back. The only question here, black or silver? You really can't go wrong, but for me, especially with this blue, we're just going black all day long. Moving on, let's talk interior. There's black and then there's cognac. So if you're in the cognac, well, there you go. Not really for me, but it's there if you want it. There's 2 other no-cost options, both black. The standard black is fine and all, but check out this black with the M color highlights. I mean, yeah, look, maybe it's a little bit much, but what can I say? I'm sort of a sucker for those M colors, so I'm just all over this. Yeah, I love it. We're going for it. But again, if you're more into the sleeper thing, no judgment here. Oh, and there's one other option, a very nice merino leather option, but it's only available as part of this mega expensive carbon package, and more on that later. All right, so next up we've got some trim to look at, and it's pretty simple here. The standard no-cost option is this glossy piano black, which is fine, but God forbid it comes into any contact with any actual human beings, because you're gonna quickly find yourself the mayor of Fingerprintville. The good news here though is that you can solve this problem quite easily for just $150 by upgrading to the aluminum rhombic anthracite, which is a mouthful. Now, if you must, you can also drop $800 for the carbon fiber here, which, I don't know, maybe saves you an ounce of weight, maybe. Personally, I think we can spend that money elsewhere, so we're just going for the silver. All right, so let's take a look at the options and packages. And packages first. There's the Shadowline package, which basically blacks out the lights and the exhaust tips, and I dig it. And since we saved all that cash by not getting the carbon fiber trim, I think we picked this up all day long at $300, right? Well, not quite that simple. I'm not sure why BMW broke it down this way, but if you want the Shadowline package, you also have to get the lighting package. The lighting package comes with automatic high beams along with fully adaptive LED lights. Both not really must-haves, but solid quality of life options here. And we kind of just want the Shadowline trim, and again, we save that money by not getting the carbon fiber trim, so we're just gonna go with it. And that leaves the carbon package. Okay, it's great and all, but it's also $9,900. That's a lot. No matter how you look at it, this is expensive. It's very expensive. So what do you get? Well, you get that nice merino leather, but you're not pulling the trigger on this for some leather. You're gonna struggle with this because of these just completely badass carbon fiber bucket seats. I mean, this is the first time factory racing seats have been available for the M2, by the way. Oh, and they're fully electric and heated, and they've got that M2 badge baked in that lights up. The other big time draw for the carbon package, well, I think it's the carbon roof. And yeah, you've seen this in some other M cars, like the M5 for example. It lowers your center of gravity and drops the weight by 48 pounds, and that's cool and all. And sure, maybe, just maybe, it'll shave a tenth off your lap time, but let's not kid ourselves. This is a cosmetic option. But it's still very, very cool and undeniably all M. And oh, keep in mind though, you can also get this roof as a standalone option for $2,600. Okay, and then the M drivers package, which you can also get a la carte for $2,500 if you're gonna pass on the carbon package. This is basically a one-day high-performance driving class, which I'm sure is just a total blast. And without this pack, the top speed is a cool 155 miles an hour, but with this, that's how you get to 177 miles per hour. Anyway, look, as cool as the carbon package is, and as much as we love those racing seats, I think 10 grand is just a little rich for this car. And that said though, if you just want the ultimate M2, then you better be all over this. Alright, let's check out some other options, and there's a bunch here. I'm not going to go through all of them, and feel free to pause or just head to the website to get a closer look. Personally, the absolute must-have in the group is the live cockpit with heads-up display, and I'm telling you, once you get used to this heads-up display, it really sucks to go without. And I know it's not exactly cheap at $1,100, but I think you just kind of need it. Then maybe I'm picking up the heated steering wheel. I mean, depending on where you live, this can be a very, very nice option to have, especially when it's stupid cold outside. And $200, at this point, why not? A couple other things to point out is that, well, you could, if you actually wanted, you could swap out that sweet 6-speed manual with an 8-speed automatic.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I'm gonna warn you though, do this and you'll rightfully so be ridiculed endlessly behind your back or even to your face by any and every car guy who's even got a trace of motor oil in his or her veins. Not to mention that you're just gonna throw that resale value into the wood chipper Fargo style, so look, just don't do it. I mean, don't be a punchline, man. Alright, so where did we end up? Well, just a bit under 65 grand, which, yeah, it's a lot, but seriously, what else out there can compete with this? Alright, so there's the Porsche Cayman, and maybe you can keep the price close with the base Cayman, but even then, maybe not. So let's look at the Cayman GTS 4.0, which gets a lot closer in the horsepower department with 394 horsepower, but that's still a good 60 horsepower shy of the M2. And then there's the price, and let me just say this, maybe, if you're lucky, you'll be able to score one of these for under 100 grand, but probably not. And then there's the absolutely epic GT4, which is a total and complete beast. Even though it can't match the M2's power, it's still probably just like in a whole nother league, but it also comes like twice the price. So that leaves the M2 sitting at a table for one. So motorheads, rejoice. We've got a real deal driver's car with all the major ingredients there. In a world where everything's getting bigger and bigger, this fella's kind of just the right size. It's rear-wheel drive, it has a total beast of a motor with stupid amounts of power, and a 6-speed manual. Now consider how everything is moving electric and doing it pretty quickly. It's pretty safe to say that this fella's going to be an instant classic and perhaps the last hero of a dying breed. And if I had the money, I'd buy two. One to just thrash around endlessly and one to store in a humidity and temperature controlled bubble, because I'm willing to bet that a low mileage one of these is just going to sell for stupid amounts of money in like 20 years.